Hello everyone, thanks for coming outside with me today. It is inevitable that at some point in this video, you're going to hear two small kids playing with Play-Doh. You guys, hey, you guys playing with Play-Doh back there? Yeah, we're playing with Play-Doh. As some... He's in there, apparently. So as somebody who works in an archery shop part-time, as well as works around these people and are good friends with the folks that own the archery shop, I get to see a lot of the supply chain and supply and demand issues that are still going on in the archery industry right now. And I want to make a real quick PSA video and a warning. If you're not starting to do these now for your upcoming season here just a month or two away in September, October, you need to get on them and you need to start doing them now. One thing I preach a lot in my videos is having a backup set. Yes.
What are you doing?
I am currently filming. I know, it is funny, isn't it? Okay, you go play with Play-Doh. You just can't handle the cuteness. She can be a real turd though sometimes. But one of the biggest things I harp on a lot of my prep videos and getting ready for the archery season videos is having a backup set of string cables ready to go. Whether it's a COVID supply chain issue or not kind of year, I prefer to have a backup set for any of my hunting bows in particular. The target stuff, okay, whatever. But for the hunting stuff, when it's October, it's Halloween, it's the peak of the rut in November, wherever it may be, and I nick a string off a briar, branch, or rock, I drop my bow, cut it with a broadhead, whatever it may be, I want to have that backup set of string cables ready to go. Now, whether or not they're going to match or I'm going to replace the whole set or just replace a cable or just replace a string, that doesn't matter. I need to get back into the woods. Now, right now during COVID, the big manufacturers, unless you are getting them from your shop and you are kind of hitting it perfect in terms of your timing, you're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks for a set of string cables to be shipped to the shop. And then, of course, with all the bow backups, they have to do them for you and actually install them onto your bow. If you try to do this in the middle of October, November, you're talking usually at least a week, if not now 2, maybe 3, depending on the type of fibers that you need or the colors that you want. And now you're almost to the end, if not through the last bit of archery season, and you've really missed out. So right now is the time to get a set of backup string cables for your bow. I know it's an upfront cost. You might have already bought new string cables, but having that backup set now, even if you don't use them this year, they can stay well into the package perfectly fine, nice and waxed already. They will easily last a couple calendar years in that package. Keep them in a cool, dry place in your shop, in your basement, and they will be fine. So have them now, spend the extra $100, $150, whatever it needs to be, get a good set and have them ready to roll in the event that you have a freak accident and you can either do it yourself with your own bow press or take it to your local shop and have it done in a jiff. As a side note, it's a really good time right now to find those local string builders. Like I said, some of the big guys like Gas, Vapor Trail, Fuse, Zebra, whatever you name it, they are starting to have issues where they can't produce enough strings. Yes, Emma. 0 plus 0 is...
0.
Is 0, that's right. What's 4 plus 5?
4 plus 5 is 9.
Is 9, very good. High five. Nice. 4 plus 5 is 9. Hope you're able to get outside, enjoy the sport of archery hunting if you so choose. Definitely enjoy God's beautiful creation. We'll get to see you next time. 4 plus 5 is 9. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Now is the time to find that local guy in your state. Heck, he could be right around the corner for all you know. Get onto Facebook and find the local string builder in your area, in your state even. And so, for example, I like Craig from Wicked Threads Custom Strings right out here in Dillsburg, PA. I love supporting the small shops, and I like supporting guys who make good strings and who are shooters themselves and continuously enjoy the sport and want to have quality strings not only for their customers but for themselves. So now is the time to find that local guy and give him some business. We all know we could all use a little bit more business in these COVID times. The second thing to do, also in conjunction with that string cable, is to write down every spec on your bow. Take the axle to axle measurement, take the brace height measurement, measure from the D loop to the peep, measure from the D loop to the kisser button if you use one, nose button if that's something you use. Take all those measurements now, so that way those things are ready to roll in the event of a string cable change that needs to happen in the middle of the season. You don't want to be flim-flamming around with numbers, trying to figure out if this bow feels right. You can try to get it back to as close as the tune that you already have with your current arrow setup, and you're not going to be up the creek without a paddle. Now, is it going to be a perfect replication of the exact setup that you have? No, but you can get it 99% close just by doing it right and doing the measurements now before something bad happens. Also, another couple things to do in case bad things happen, and particularly again during these COVID times, is having spare parts, or I like to actually have a spare complete rest and sight setup. What this means is right now all my hunting and target bows are set up with Hamskea rests. I love Hamskea rests. They're built like tanks. But anything that is built for the archery industry, or any other industry for that matter, is going to break, and I could very well break it by dropping out of a tree, smashing off a tree stand, slamming it in the truck tailgate, whatever it could possibly be, and I want to have a backup to the backup. So for example, I will take the same bow and I will tune it with the Hamskea, make marks on my bow where the rest lines up, all that sort of stuff. Then I'll put a whisker biscuit on there, and you can do the vice versa. You can have a whisker biscuit or two or whatever it may be. I'll have a cheap whisker biscuit. In the event that I break something, I can take that rest off and I can put on the whisker biscuit or another type of rest. It could be a QAD, it could be an HHA, whatever it may be. Put that rest on there, and I know that I didn't completely screw up my tune, my broadhead flight, so on and so forth. Now, it's pretty simple. There are lots of videos on my channel already on how to get good broadhead flight and how to tune very easily. Heck, I can do it most of the times in less than an hour, and if you can do that in between hunts, then you'll be just fine. But having that backup for the rest as well as for a sight. If you shoot a pin sight in particular, your sight tape gets whacked off, your pins break, you have a whole other sight that you've already sighted in previously, you can slap it, bolt it right onto the bow, and you're right back to where you left off when you were prepping in the summertime before the season even started. It's just a good idea. I personally like the CBE Tactic 3-pin. I just bought it off of Amazon for like $50, and it's a great backup sight to most of the stuff that I already have from CBE in my hunting and high-end target sight styles. Now, you could get a cheaper HHA, a True Glow. You can go with the Trophy Ridge system. There's all different types of budget-friendly sights in that $40 to $70 range that are not only just a great A-level sight, if that's just the one you want to have on your bow, but they also make fantastic backups. Now, usually I wouldn't be this frantic about having these kind of things ready. Usually in a non-COVID supply chain, you can get this stuff. You can go to your local shop, you can go on Amazon, you can get it for the right price, you can get it shipped to your door, you can get it right as you go into your local dealer. Everything's free and easy, but it's not that case this year. This is not the year to wait to the last minute. And for those of you in particular, I'm thinking of those of you that haven't changed your string cables in 6 or 7 years, and in particular those of you that hunt with crossbows that haven't changed your string cables in a couple of years. Those type of bows, those older bows, those 5, 6, 7-year-old bows, or those 5, 6, 7-year-old crossbows, or older on both spectrums, now is definitely the time to get your bow in, to get inspected, and to definitely get your bow in now. I actually should have been 2 weeks ago to get that string cable change started, because if it's not already a stock string cable change from like 2018, 2019 up to 2021, you're going to have that thing be built from scratch. And if it's going to be built from scratch, it's going to take longer, it's going to delay longer, particularly in today's COVID era. People trying to make the stuff for the current flagship level bows already that they're trying to sell, it's really going to back everything up. So if you particularly have any older equipment, I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 10 years, you definitely want to get that in now or start ordering that stuff now. Do not delay on that, because it could be quite some time until you get it on your doorstep. So anyway, that's a public service announcement, a warning, a fair warning to you. If you feel like you're going to be doing string cable changes, you feel like you're going to be taking your bow out west for the hunt of a lifetime, you're going to be taking it to Illinois, Kansas, out west for elk, and you feel like you're going to be fine, I would throw that whisker biscuit in the pack along with your drop away. I would throw in that extra pair of string cables, buy that $30, $40, $50 Bowmaster bow press, and be able to do these quick changes yourself. Buy that extra $6, $7, $8 peep, so if it gets crushed in the string or if it gets caked up with stuff, you're able to fix it and replace it. Now's the time to have this stuff ready to roll. You don't want to be waiting until the actual incident happens. You're not going to get that 2, 3, 4, 5 day turnaround time like we always have in the past. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Bows are backed up, strings are backed up, and the older your equipment is, the longer it's going to take to fix it or to replace it. So start the process now. Get yourself ready, because I would hate to see anybody up the creek without a paddle once they're in the heat of the moment, once the season starts. So that's all for this video. If you have any questions on any of the things I brought up, the COVID supply chain, the problems of archery, the supply and demand, please follow the links in the description below. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, send me an email, or even drop a comment here with your own experiences right here on YouTube. Hope you're able to get outside, enjoy the sport of archery, archery hunting if you so choose. Definitely enjoy God's beautiful creation. Get ready now, and we'll get to see you next time.